Hi, welcome back to World of the Psychic.
Together we shall cast ourselves into the future.
Seen any aliens lately?
This is a part of America we never get to see.
Are you by chance referring to the legend of the Loch Ness Monster?
A ball of twine that weighs 19,000 pounds.
What is this, nerd porn?
It is about the Templar treasure, but it's also about other things, conspiracy theories, urban legends, and other myths that are true.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the
Travel Oddities Podcast.
And welcome to the Travel Oddities Podcast. I'm Brett Manzer.
And I'm Harley Covington.
Have we talked since the lottery?
No.
Okay, cool. Apparently neither one of us won or we wouldn't be here.
No, I did win.
You did?
Yes.
I won $7.
Did you?
Yeah. I went ahead and went with the cash option.
And not the 30 annual payments.
Right. So what's going
on? Not much.
It's cold.
It is a little chilly.
It's a bit nipply out there.
I'm excited for today's show.
I am too, but it's kind of top secret.
It is? Why?
Well, because it's about secret society.
Aha.
That's secret society made famous by Joshua Jackson. That's all. No, we can't say any more than that.
No?
No.
Okay. So we'll just go straight to the important stuff?
Let's go right to the important stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that we should do
the important stuff. And the important stuff.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
News.
All right. Tonight's news story. Really?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
That's where we're going with this.
Okay.
Come on, man. I know you can do this.
All right. Battle Creek, Michigan.
Ooh.
The head of a Southwestern Michigan mental health agency has learned his future.
What is it?
At least 32 months in prison for using public money to hire a fortune teller.
Really?
Okay, so this guy's name is Irvin Brinker.
Okay.
He was sentenced on Wednesday, 2 months after pleading guilty to embezzlement and Medicaid fraud. He spent $510,000.
Oh, wow.
On a psychic. Funny part of that story, the psychic is in Key West, Florida.
Oh.
Damn, Robert the Doll sneaking right back up in here.
It.
Yeah.
Robert did it.
He was using Medicaid funds and billing a non-existent doctor, and it was the psychic.
Okay, man. I've always been kind of tempted, maybe a little bit curious about going to a palm reader, haven't you?
I've been.
Oh, was it at the medieval fair, though?
No, actually it was not.
Okay. What did you get from it?
I am still waiting to become fabulously wealthy.
Was that the...
Pretty sure that was the gist of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't spend $500,000.
No.
Unless you're trying to embed. I mean, obviously, there's more to it. I mean...
Well, $400,000, sure. But $500,000's pushing it. It's just not in my budget.
On the subject of spending, like, silly money.
Right.
Did you hear about I think it was two guys that went in together and spent $100,000 on lottery tickets?
No, are we back to lottery?
I'm sorry. I'm stuck on it. So, $500,000.
Now, hold on. I want to hear the rest of the story. They spent $100,000 on lottery tickets?
On lottery tickets.
And they made $7?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Not a smart thing to do.
So, what's
my take on...
What's your take on it?
On embezzling money from...
I mean...
Medicaid?
Do it on anything but a psychic.
I mean, if it was paying for itself, this guy should have saw it coming.
Right. Now, was this one of those call in and, like, Miss Cleo, call in and you get your free reading? I guess he didn't. Well, no, he didn't get a free read. He got a lot of $500,000 worth of readings.
It was over a year, so...
God, that Lee, man.
He's spending $50,000, $60,000 a month.
She's like, it's like those in the movies. Like, I'm not seeing so good. Maybe for another 20, I can see a little better. Maybe that's that's what it's like. My vision, it's cloudy. I think $100,000 more dollars, I could see more clearly. things are a bit blurry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she probably didn't warn him about his shiny new wrist jewelry.
Right. So,
yeah.
So he's going to jail.
Yes, for a while. And then he has to pay back the $510,000 plus $510,000 more for the state of Michigan.
And then I would sue the psychic because the psychic... You mean to tell me the psychic didn't see this coming?
That's the whole point of the story. He'll be eligible for parole in 32 short months.
32 months? That's not bad. Well, it may be a little bit earlier for good behavior.
32 months in prison's got to be a bad time.
That's a lot of time for you to, like, get away from this. Stop. No. Quit doing that. Don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not doing that. Like, and then he's like, and that's just day one. He's like, crap, still another 32 months of this. By about month 30, he's like, yeah, just take it.
That's horrible.
Just give it to me.
All right, done. Done with that story.
All right, so I guess that brings us to the crown jewel.
Right.
The secret society of the bones and skulls. Skull and Bones.
The Skull and Bones Fraternity.
Of Yale University.
Correct, in New Haven, Connecticut.
Now, you probably have seen the movie. And I think it was just called The Skulls, wasn't it?
It was just called The Skulls.
And it had Joshua Jackson. I think Paul Walker was in that movie.
Paul Walker was in the movie.
Pretty good movie, but it doesn't get to nearly the heart of what the Skull and Bones are actually about. And there's a lot of mystery that we'll get to behind the Skull and Bones fraternity and how in the hell, if you're Yale University, some of the stuff that I've heard that's happened during their rituals. How does a university let them get away with some of this stuff? But we'll get to that.
Friends in high places.
Friends in high places. So,
originally or once known as the Brotherhood of Death, also known as the Order, the Eulogian Club, and Lodge 322.
Now, Lodge 322 sounds more like the Elks. A little bit less like the Brotherhood of Death and more like the Elks Lodge.
It does a little bit.
What was in the Flintstones? What was it wasn't the Moose Lodge, it was what was it? They had the big tall hats.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, it's nothing like it's not as fun as that.
No, absolutely. And Flintstones of course is a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
But this secret society founded in 1832. So it's been around for a while.
So they have what's called the tomb. Now, this tomb has no windows.
Right.
You got one way in, one way out, and it's just padlocks on the door.
No, right, it's their meeting house.
Right, their
clubhouse.
The clubhouse. Yeah, where they do all their weird, sexy, not sexy. Did I say sexy?
You did say sexy.
Their weird sexual experiments, not experiences. What is wrong with me?
I don't know. I think the show's broken.
What you do? Do you fear for the show?
You're afraid of Robert the Doll.
And you're afraid of this.
Dude, Skull and Bones? These guys are everywhere.
So, the Society's alumni organization, the Russell Trust Association, owns the Society's real estate and oversees the organization that was incorporated in 1856 and named after the Bones co-founder. Now, this thing is believed to be worth over $4 million.
Actually, that's an old number. That's the most the most current information that is available, because in 1943, by special act of the Connecticut State Legislature, the Russell Trust Association trustees were granted an exemption from filing corporate reports with the Secretary of State. So they don't have to tell anybody what the hell they've got.
So they don't have to show any financial reports, how we're getting our money, any of that.
Right.
So does the trust itself just go to new robes? I mean, what do they buy with this money?
Well, we'll get to it in a little bit. One of the things they've spent their money on. But if you believe the movie, they all get a dramatic amount of money and a new car when they get tapped into the organization. So
this is the only organization where I believe it's cool to get that ass tapped.
I don't think they tap them on the ass. Okay, so unlike a normal fraternity,
unlike your standard Greek,
right? Like your standard Greek fraternity or sorority, this fraternity is comprised entirely of seniors. So it's the final year of your undergraduate that you get tapped.
So you don't get your bones cherry popped until you're a senior. They don't have an undergrad program for bones members.
Correct.
I wonder why.
I'm not really sure.
Age of maturity? I don't know. So members of the group are also known as bones. Sorry. I'm afraid to laugh. They could find us and kill us. The Bonesmen, Knight of the Eulogia.
Knights.
The Boodle Boys. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from. It's weird. But there's a whole lot of weird stuff about this.
Yes. When you look at the list of people, in doing research, the list of people that are believed to have been, or reported to have been, the list is extensive. And we're not just talking like John Doe, Bobby Doe kind of people. These are prominent figures.
You've got presidents on that list.
Presidents. Bush 1?
Yes.
Bush 2?
Yes.
Hell, Granddaddy Bush.
Prescott?
Prescott Bush, yes, is a part of that list as well.
You've got Supreme Court justices, secretaries of state, secretaries of defense, U.S. ambassadors, CEOs and founders of massive companies, university presidents, basically the power elite. That's why the hell I'm scared of these people.
And it doesn't discriminate. John Kerry, we know he's a Democrat, right? So it's not like it's a Republican Party thing. It's like it's one big secret society of boners. Bonesmen.
So some notable members.
Okay.
President Supreme Court Justice William Taft. Presidents George H.W. Bush and his son George W. Bush. Supreme Court Justices Morrison R. Waite and Potter Stewart. James Jesus Angleton, head of the Central Intelligence Agency. Henry Luce, founder and publisher of Time, Life, and Fortune magazines, as well as Sports Illustrated. As you mentioned, John Kerry, John F. Kerry, Secretary of State. Stephen A. Schwartzman, founder of the Blackstone Group.
Mm-hmm.
Chairman of Barack Obama's Council on Economic Advisors. Harold Stanley, co-founder of Morgan Stanley. Frederick W. Smith, founder of FedEx. Montgomery Burns attended Yale and was a member of Skull and Bones from The Simpsons. Montgomery Burns. The Rockefellers. They're on that list. You find their name amongst the research.
I like the nicknames. Like Magog was the nickname for George Herbert Walker Bush was Magog.
Right. Biblical character also shows up in the Quran.
But see, they've linked this stuff to Satanism.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
I mean, it's just
and you go through the ritual, which I didn't include the text of the ritual because it was just way over the top. There are about 15 different people involved.
You call bullshit? I'm joking.
I'm not calling bullshit. I'm just saying that, like wear one sock and, have the button on one side of your shirt buttoned but not on the other side, and devil's foot.
And, uncleansed genitalia.
No, it was half.
Half genitalia?
Cleansed.
Half. Which half? I mean, your undercarriage needs to be oiled. I mean, there was all kinds of.
So, I mean, you did some YouTube research?
Yes, I've dabbled.
You dabbled? So what are your thoughts on?
So okay, one thing that right off the bat is they identify themselves with the number 322.
Right. Why?
Now, well, I've heard a couple of different things.
Okay.
The first thing I heard was that the 322 represented the year in which it was founded, but, from what we read earlier, 1832 is the earliest, right?
That's when Skull and Bones was founded at Yale. So there are some conspiracy theories that link it to some older organizations
that are more Greek or Roman.
Some of them are actually German or Belgium. But yeah, there are some Greek and Roman ties, supposedly.
But I also heard that 322 was a representative of a scripture from Genesis as well.
Which is what? Do we know?
I didn't write it down.
Should we look it up?
Yeah, let's look it up.
All right. You cover for me while I look up Genesis 3:22.
Sure.
You got something to say, or
well,
are you gonna?
There are 800 living members of this secret society of Skull and Bones. The preferred mix of candidates is described as a football captain, a chairman of the Yale Daily News, a conspicuous radical.
Dude, you're just moving ahead when we're not supposed to be moving ahead because I'm looking this up. You're supposed to cover for me, sing a song, tell a story, give a funny anecdote. Don't burn through my research. Okay, so Genesis 3:22.
Okay, I have a joke.
Okay, let's hear your joke.
Okay.
Is it good?
Guy goes to the doctor.
Is it
Guy says to the doctor, "Doc, I have 5 penises." Doctor says, he says, "How do you have 5 penises?" He goes, "I just do." He said, "Well, how do your pants fit?" The guy says, "Like a glove."
All right, Genesis 3:22. And the Lord God said, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever."
Which translates into, you are now a member of the Skull and Bones.
I don't see the tie.
I don't either.
All right. I'm going to go with BS on the tie to the Genesis.
Well, that, and if we're going to say there are some satanic tie-ins as well, I don't think that they would go with a scripture.
Well, I think more than anything, it's just mystical in nature. So anything mystical they try to snag a piece of, which, again, we'll get to in a little bit, but their proclivity for hanging on to the bones of famous people. So as you started,
yes,
as you cut into my research material, the preferred mix of candidates is described to be a football captain, a chairman of the Yale Daily News, a conspicuous radical, a whifflepoof.
Whiffenpoof, dude.
Whiffenpoof, sorry. That's the Yale a cappella group. A swimming captain, a notorious drunk with a 94 average, a filmmaker, a political columnist, a religious group leader, a chairman of the Lit, a foreigner, a ladies' man, an ex-serviceman, and a person of color. And
all walk into a bar.
And the person of color was not listed as a person of color.
They were listed as something else.
So, but if you look at the breakdown, they want the people that are the most well-liked and the most well-connected.
And they want people that aren't tone deaf.
Yes, they do want the Whiffenpoof, which that's a horrible name, Whiffenpoof. Around campus, they do have some competition. There are 2 other similar organizations at Yale that also
have a cappella groups.
The senior fraternity.
So Skull and Bones is just the beginning.
No. Skull and Bones is the end-all, be-all.
The end-all, be-all. That's what you want.
But they do have a couple of other groups that mimic their activities a little bit. So you've got the Scroll and Key and the Wolf's Head are the other two secret groups on the Yale campus. Obviously, they're not too secret, but they're secret.
Scroll and Key sounds like something you'd experiment with in college.
Only if you were at Hogwarts.
if you're playing Quidditch. Speaking of Harry Potter, rest in peace, Alan Rickman.
Absolutely.
Dude, speaking of secret societies, there's got to be like a cancer crusade going on right now. Alan Rickman, David Bowie, Lemmy Kilmish. People are just dropping like flies, dying left and right.
Yes.
And there's no cure for cancer. I'll tell you another secret society?
Sure.
Pharmaceutical companies.
I'm willing to bet you got a few bonesmen who get paid because of pharmaceutical industries.
And I don't buy the bull that they said there's 800 living members. There's more than that.
No, you look at the math. Over a 100-year period, you only make 1,500 of them.
Right. I mean, but how? Okay.
Because you're talking 15 a year, max.
So I'm walking on the campus of Yale, headed to class.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a warm spring afternoon, and I get a tap on the shoulder. Is that pretty much the signal that, do you want to miss it? Are you hoping to get that tap? Do you already know about this before you get to Yale?
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, and after spending 3 years there,
Well, that's true. That's true. You know about it. The things that I've heard, and there are things that we won't talk about on here because they're pretty graphic.
The sexual stuff.
Where you have to confess your sexual...
We actually talk about it a little bit,
okay.
But I left out the version that you found.
Yes.
That is a little more graphic.
Imagine that. Imagine that I would find
that you gravitated towards the more graphic version.
Give me the dirt, man.
I researched the PG-13 version, and you went out and researched the XXX version.
It's like they tap me on the shoulder, and I just immediately drop my pants. I'm like, they're like, "Whoa, dude! I was just going to tell you dropped your pen." I'm like, "Oh, my bad. I thought I was going to be in the bones and skulls." But yeah, I put the bone in bone, skull and bones.
Nice. Okay, so the Skull and Bones membership started as an exclusive club for white male Protestants. It was believed that this group of people actually started the Skull and Bones because they were not allowed into the Phi Beta Kappa.
So this
fraternity.
is kind of an outcast group, really, of rebel rousers, it sounds like.
To a degree, I would say, yeah. Women were allowed entry into the group as of 1992.
Until they bitched about something.
They are currently allowed, according to all the lore out there. The Russell Trust resisted this change and changed the locks on the tomb, and then finally gave in after facing lawsuits.
Again, if you're a prominent Ivy League university and you're aware of either the stories about the Skull and Bones have just been so blown out of proportion, or Yale University just kind of turns it's tradition. They just kind of sweep it under the rug as just something the boys do.
Right.
Because how do you not get sanctioned? How do you not get how's the FBI not?
I think it boils down to they are very well connected. You're talking, these are power elite. The people involved typically are related to somebody who was a bonesman in the past. There's a lot of money in those families already.
So it really is about who you know.
That's a big part of this.
And from what I understand, their intentions are good. In terms of, their goal is to
perpetuate the
group, and to help the group achieve their highest potential.
Right.
Hence why you could easily say, you've got 2 presidents that have been pumped out of there.
At least.
State secretary. At least that we're aware of. So there's been a pedigree of success that have come out of this, but at what cost?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if you mentioned it while we were discussing it on the air here, but JFK, he was more than likely not ever going to be a bonesman.
No,
because he was Catholic.
Right.
And they didn't allow Catholics. They occasionally allowed Catholics, but more often than not, they were denied, and they blocked Jewish people at every turn.
Really?
Yes.
And that's funny to me because you think there could be a financial gain there. I wonder why. Is there a reason why?
I think it probably goes back to the whole Jewish banking conspiracies.
Tightwad.
Well, that they already controlled a big portion of the money.
Yeah.
We're not helping them out.
Look, the
Jews
own Hollywood and Disneyland, okay? They're not getting in the bones and skulls. Skull and bones.
Okay.
You're afraid to say, you seem real timid. You're afraid to say certain things.
I'm not afraid to say it, but I don't want to tick off the wrong person.
Because this is one of the first times I've seen you really kind of go by you're not even really trying to bump the line on this one. You're going, well, to be fair, Brett, you're being really reasonable today.
Well, I did call them racist, pretty much.
Are you afraid? Are you fearful of that? I'm worried about a doll that's 100 years old. You're worried about a secret society that's 200 years old.
Well, that we know of. Right. So this group of people, the Skull and Bones Society, was co-founded by William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft as the Order of the Skull and Bones. And then, like I said, after they were not allowed into Phi Beta Kappa.
You know what I thought of?
What?
When you said that, I don't know why I thought you were going to say something like this right here. I'll write it down and have you. I'm going to write it down and have you read it.
All right. Dead air.
I thought you were going to say something like that.
So you want me to say the name? Hugh Jass. Okay, very funny.
Sorry.
So as we were talking, the original group, the Russell
Stovers,
Russell Trust, has a very large amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that they've spent this money on is the Skull and Bones own and manage Deer Island. It's an island retreat on the St. Lawrence River.
Oh, really? Now, I've heard something about it.
Well, if you remember in the movie, it was a huge mansion on an island.
Okay, yeah. That might have been what I'm thinking of.
So there's a little bit of truth
to that.
The island's a 40-acre retreat and is intended to give bonesmen an opportunity to get together and rekindle old friendships.
Aww.
Now, a little description of the island will kind of lead you to believe that the Skull and Bones has declined
in its membership.
Well, not in its membership, but just fortune-wise.
Mm-hmm.
The island used to have tennis courts, softball fields, and was trimmed in elegant landscaping, and stewards catered elegant meals. Deer Island is still used by each new Skull and Bones member, but now it, according to my research, it's just a bunch of burned-out stone buildings, basically a ruins.
Now, is this something that you and I, John Q. Curiosity, could go find ourselves, or would we have to have a key to a gate that leads to a road that leads to another road kind of situation?
In the show notes, I'm going to put the GPS coordinates.
Okay. I think it'd be cool to check out.
It is private property, but if you were going to go there, it doesn't seem like there's a lot stopping you
So
from
if
going
it's
there.
owned by Skull and Bones, is it partially owned by Yale University as well, or is that something? Is that part of the trust? Is that what you were saying? That's part of the
Yes.
Okay, that's part of the trust.
Russell Trust.
The Russell Trust. Okay.
The names of the members of the Skull and Bones were not kept secret,
Which is weird to me for a secret society that's not really so secret.
Well, their practices and meetings are completely off limits.
Okay, well, I understand. I mean, I don't think they're having like Freemasons do, having a pancake social every Saturday and a spaghetti dinner on Tuesday nights. I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of weirdness here. They have a reputation for stealing prominent items from other Yale societies or from campus buildings. They call this crooking. They've been accused of possessing the stolen skulls of Martin Van Buren, Geronimo, and Pancho Villa.
Now, the interesting thing about the Geronimo skull is they attempted to return the skull to the Apache Nation, but the Apaches couldn't verify that it was, in fact, Geronimo's skull, so they refused it. When they received it initially, it was in like a fish tank with chips of turquoise when they received the skull originally, but they couldn't verify because they're known for grave robbing. That's also something that they've been known to do is grave rob.
Right.
So
again, a lot of the stuff that they do is just downright weird. But again, back to the movie, which most people are going to be familiar with.
Right.
They have been known to stab the Bones insignia into their flesh so that they keep it on them while they're showering or swimming.
That's crazy.
It is. Before we move on to popular conspiracy theories, we do have a public service announcement.
We do. We have a new sponsor.
Is it a sponsor?
Well,
I feel like this is a charitable thing that we're giving.
Well, we are kind of giving back. We're giving back.
Okay, so we have this public service announcement. We're going to go ahead and play it for you.
And we'll be back. Lycanthropy doesn't just affect bite victims. Consider the families and friends whose lives are forever changed. In the U.S. alone, 7,000 women and 11,000 men will be infected with lycanthropy, and over 2,000 will be shot with silver bullets. We cannot rest until we win the battle against lycanthropy. At the Lycanthropy Research Foundation, a minimum of 12 cents of every dollar donated goes directly to lycanthropy research and awareness programs. The foundation has a 5-star rating, the highest possible from the Nicholas Flamel Institute, and an A+ rating from the American Institute of Paranormal and Magical Afflictions. For more information, go to our website, werewolvesarepeople2.org, or call toll-free 866-MOON-IS-BAD. With your help, we can erase this disease for good. The Lycanthropy Research Foundation, prevention, and a cure in our lifetime. Won't you help? Please, donate now. Well, that was moving. I feel like I don't do enough.
I agree 100%.
So
as I was saying before our PSA, first I would like to apologize
to the Skull and Bones.
Well, that we didn't have a public service that was
appropriate,
more related to the source material, but it was important and timely, especially at this time of year.
Well, you know what? It's just not talked about enough.
It's not.
I feel like it's one of those subjects that's like it's the big white elephant in the room, or big white werewolf in the room that people are afraid to talk about.
So back to Skull and Bones. Popular conspiracy theories around this group.
I think you just glazed over.
Glazed over?
The whole what I just said.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's important that people are aware of the struggles involved.
You know, I think it's the new AIDS. I mean, I think it's like the new epidemic.
That is a horrible thing. You're a horrible person.
Only in America does winning mean HIV positive. Go ahead. Okay, so where were we?
I don't know.
I'd like to buy your deadliest gun, please.
Conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Past and present members
okay.
plot for New World Order by destroying religions and governments from within and merging the destroyed countries.
I can buy that.
You think that's legit?
But here's the other part. But what you're missing is that they're saying they're also part of the Illuminati, which I think
got to that yet.
I know, but I think they're two separate entities.
The Skull and Bones and the Illuminati are two separate entities?
Because the Illuminati is that they illuminate. They want to illuminate. Skull and Bones want to eliminate.
I don't agree with that at all.
Okay. Why not?
The Illuminati, if you believe the stories behind the Illuminati, they're evil assholes that hide in the shadows, very similar to an unnamed group of individuals that hide in a place called the Tomb.
Well, Jay-Z doesn't hide in a tomb or hide in the shadows, and he's a part of the Illuminati.
He and Beyonce, yes, we've discussed.
Now, the Illuminati, not to be confused with Lou Malnati's in Chicago pizzeria. You ever had Lou Malnati's?
No, that's awesome.
But if you say it wrong,
you get shot.
You get Illuminati. Yeah, let me get a Lou Malnati. A what? A Lou Malnati. Oh, he said Illuminati. Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, so another popular conspiracy theory, they control the CIA. Now,
somebody needs to.
George Herbert Walker Bush was the head of the CIA before he became Ronald Reagan's vice president.
Oh, yeah.
So there may be some validity to that.
I don't know.
The fact that they get away with damn near everything on campus and never getting into any trouble, I would say they might have some friends.
Listen, when I was a kid, we had a clubhouse. No girls allowed, because that's where we kept our cigarettes, our dirty movies. Not dirty movies, our dirty magazines. Girls weren't allowed. You know.
Girls aren't allowed to look at dirty magazines?
Not with the boys. Come on.
All right.
Because we had to show each other our peckers. No, I'm joking.
Really?
We didn't know. I'm kidding.
Were you, like, signed up for the Junior Skull and Bones Society?
Yeah.
Okay, so another conspiracy theory. Yeah. The Skull and Bones' main purpose is to get as many members as possible into positions of power. I think this is probably obvious.
The most viable purpose of the Skull and Bones. Because reading the list, there's some powerful people on that list.
Absolutely. And with the various groups or people involved in this group, it's hard to argue. You know, when you've got the editor of Time magazine and the head of the CIA and presidents and ambassadors, you can seriously pull some strings for your buddies.
Two of the not the greatest presidents, though.
That you know of.
That I know of.
Right. Who's the greatest president?
To the Democrats, JFK. To the Republicans,
really?
Republicans will say Reagan.
Hold on.
Republicans will say Reagan.
You're telling me the Democrats are going to say JFK?
Would they say Clinton? They can't say Clinton.
Why?
They will when they're in a small group. They'll go, yeah, Clinton, he wasn't too bad. The guys will go, yeah, Clinton, high five. But the reality of it is, most people go Jack Kennedy.
All right, I'll let you have that one.
Who would be your okay? But who would the Republican president? You're going to say Reagan.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot.
Okay, Democrat, FDR, JFK.
FDR.
Okay. He was a go-getter, man.
He was.
You know they compare Bernie Sanders to FDR.
Only for ratings.
Only for ratings. Oh, anyway.
Okay.
Who are you voting for?
I probably will not vote.
Is it because you're in a secret society?
No, I have my own conspiracy theory.
Is it because you're in the Illuminati?
No.
Go ahead.
You want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Sure.
The reason I won't vote?
Because you don't think your vote counts.
No. It has nothing to do with whether my vote counts or not.
Okay.
Okay, so I see politics as a football game. And on the field, the guys in red and the guys in blue will bloody each other's noses. They'll go at it. But at the end of the game, when it's all said and done, they all go back to the same locker room and high-five each other for convincing the audience that what they did on the field counted.
I can see that. I understand that.
All right. Okay, so on to Skull and Bones conspiracy theories, though. The Bavarian Illuminati hid inside the Freemasons, and that the Skull and Bones Secret Society is derived from these Illuminati degree Freemasons from Bavaria, whose goals were documented in an original edition 1798 Book of Proofs of Conspiracy by John Robinson.
Say Bavarian Freemason Illuminati 5 times fast.
No, because that will take a half an hour.
How can there be hybrids? Can't we just have one secret society that's not attached to another one?
Attention. An event of unknown origin has begun in your area.
I like this part. This is a fun part.
All right, so on iTunes, Dan the Man said, love your podcast. We'll keep listening. He said, I love going to Taco Bell, and I love listening to your podcast. Well, why not both? And that's exactly what I do. I listen to your podcast when I'm going out. They're funny. Keep doing them. Maybe I can join you one day. I love listening. I began a few days ago, and I'm hooked like a fish on a line.
Nice. That makes me feel good, man.
Well, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan
really
of the
cool.
fan.
That's really cool.
We had another bit of feedback on Facebook in reference to our Robert the Doll episode. Ryan Grundy said, that's creepy, dudes. Keep up the good mojo.
Yes. This episode I wasn't as fearful of. You seem a little bit more timid.
I'm going to go directly to an ATM and make sure that I still have money.
That you still have money. Well, I know that I don't have money. I'm going to go see if there's any new money. So
They might add some.
Hey, maybe.
They might like the publicity. You never know. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I'm not feeling like I hit a home run tonight.
Why not?
I don't know.
Feeling sad?
You know, we're getting it.
All right. Well,
I'm happy with the feedback. Continue. 5-star reviews on iTunes. We read a review. It can be done. You can do this. It's easy.
It's not hard.
Tell me I hit a home run tonight. Make me feel better.
Like us on Facebook.
Yes.
Travel Oddities Podcast on Facebook. Put in a comment. Maybe we'll read it on the air.
Yeah, I would love to read it on the air. Or you read it on the air.
Or we can.
I mean, but until I find out Dan the Man's like a cousin, I didn't,
It's a possibility.
It is. Is it really?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thanks for listening. We enjoy what we do. What episode is this now? Are we into week 13?
I believe that's correct.
We're 13 weeks, man.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We should have did this at week 10.
Should have done Skull and Bones at week 10?
No, we should have shook hands and said congratulations at week 10.
Yeah. We can go back and edit it.
Please send us suggestions. We would love to talk about your stuff.
Absolutely.
We'd love to talk about other people's junk. Well, anyway, this has been Travel Oddities.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Peace.